Welcome back to the 2010 Superbike Smackdown. Now it's time to check out how the middle of the field panned out. Sixth in the overall rankings is KTM's top-of-the-line RC8R. And while the potential was there, a hefty 20 grand price tag and a slight lack of engine performance held back the KTM slightly in this highly competitive group.
When I look at that bike, I think to myself, I want this bike to be the baddest ass bike on the planet because it damn well looks like the baddest ass bike on the planet. As far as how it performs, it kind of came up a little short in my book. It vibrates a lot, especially at high RPMs. And surprisingly for a twin, you have to keep it high in the RPMs, which is normally not the case. You can kind of ride the torque wave. But with the KTM, there just doesn't kind of seem to be that torque wave there.
I don't feel I could go super fast on it, but it's a super fun bike to ride. Great track day bike. Transmission was awesome, brakes were awesome, it turned great. Just a little slower than the other bikes.
The bike turns really fast, side to side. Like it doesn't feel like a typical V-twin. It really carves the corner really well. Ergonomics are actually really comfortable. The handlebars are up real high, foot pegs are real low, and you can adjust everything on that bike, even the subframe. So definitely a bike for someone who wants to have a lot of adjustment in terms of comfort for the rider.
Very stable bike in the corners. It's really skinny. Transitioning is really easy on it. It's a little down on power, but funnest bike here. This is a really fun bike. It's definitely a really good track day bike.
For their first true sport bike, it's hard to really fault them because for a company to come out that's never made a sport bike and to come out with something that is as good as that is impressive. But in this group, for me, it's definitely at or toward the back of the pack.
The first bike in our fourth place tie was Suzuki's 2009 GSX-R 1000. The Japanese manufacturer may have opted to not bring 2010 sport bikes into the country, but that didn't hold the performance back any. It was second best to the Honda last time around, and it once again proved to be an extremely easy to ride and capable machine in this master bike of a test.
Suzuki is known for putting together a great package, and yet again, the 2009 model is a great motorcycle. Overall, if you're riding on the track or the street, it's a great bike, and we all know what it's done on the track, and there's a reason it's done so well on the track is because it is made to be turned into a race bike and can really haul the mail.
It's got serious mid-range, it's got great top end, and it's really easy to use. The fuel injection is super clean, super well tuned, comes off the corner awesome.
It's a really comfortable bike to ride. You sit like inside the cockpit, the seat height's real low. Kind of makes you feel like you're one with the machine. The bike kind of seems almost like it's like the engine's slow almost just because it's so smooth. But man, you have the thing pinned, and once it gets up top, the thing just zings. Like it was just wheelie accelerating out of the corner, like not even trying to, just hooking up and going, like just a blast to ride.
It actually had the stock showroom settings on the suspension, and I came in and thought it was had been messed with and tuned a lot, but it was stock showroom settings are like money for the track. It's handled really good without any adjustments basically.
As far as downsides, I honestly think it's kind of ugly. Even in the blue and white, I don't think it's the greatest looking bike. But it's just one of those bikes that's extremely versatile, and it's really good for any skill level rider with the different A, B, and C modes that you can use. And it's a well-engineered, well-oiled machine, and Suzuki did their homework with it.
Kawasaki's 2010 ZX-10R didn't disappoint, with the Suzuki tying fourth place finish. When it comes to that monster motor, which is still one of the hardest hitting of the bunch, there's no question Kawasaki's flagship superbike has stood the test of time.
This bike definitely is designed to be ridden around the racetrack. It turns in real sharp. It's got real sharp handling. The engine you kind of have to rev out. Like, you can't just like lug it low in the RPMs like the Suzuki or the Honda. You got to have it pinned like all the time. But when you do, man, the thing just shoots you forward.
It wants to keep the nose up in the air. You know, it's just a motorcycle with balls, you know, which is kind of awesome.
Really, really fast, and it handles really, really good. The way that the weight is distributed throughout the whole bike, you know, makes it really easy to flick around and move around out there on the track.
Struggled with a little bit of chatter in some of the long sweeping corners, but it was definitely in my top 2 of bikes I felt comfortable really pushing hard on.
It's one of several of the machines that I could hop on and I was instantly comfortable on. It's just kind of like, you know, a good old friend. You've ridden her a lot of times, or you've hung out with him quite a few times, and you just know what you're going to get. It's a several-year-old model, and they're coming out with a new one next year, so we're definitely looking forward to 2011.
That's all for the middle of the field, but be sure to stay tuned for part 3 to find out who becomes the 2010 Superbike Smackdown champion.